How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So the stock market, with about an hour left in the session, is currently at break even. Although we have had a choppy session today, the S&P 500 is up $3 right now, up 0.1%. The Dow is up a crazy $7, not even 0.05% up, with the Nasdaq up almost $2 and the Russell 2000 up about 90 cents. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the markets, breaking down some technicals, going over some key spots that I'm watching right now. And I also want to break down Workhorse stock because I've been getting so many questions in the comments about this stock. So I want to spend about 5 minutes in this video going over that one, as well as a bunch of other stocks I'm looking to trade right now heading into the month of July. And as always, I'm going to be breaking down what I'm personally doing as of now in the stock market. So if you guys find value in the video, as always, hit that like button for me. Let's try to get 300 likes on this video. Consider subscribing to the channel and check out all the free links down below in the description box if you want 2 free stocks from Webull, with one of them valued up to $1,400, and if you want to be further connected with the Strive Smart community. Again, all of those are linked down below in the description box. So let's just kick off this video, guys. And again, we're break even at this point, but that does not dismiss the fact that we've had a choppy day in the stock market today. And you'll be able to see that here on the intraday chart. And notice where we're trading in terms of the S&P 500. This is exactly what I was talking about in yesterday's video and the previous couple of videos, quite honestly. And we're trading between 30.20 and 30.65, right? It's very clear that yesterday leading into today, we've been trading within these ranges. And why are these ranges and these levels, why are they important? Well, if we pull back a bit to the 4-month chart here, you guys can see 30.20 has been a pretty big level of support here, judging back over the past month or two. Another big level is 29.50, which is a downside target that I do have here on the S&P, but we're probably not going to get there until we break 30.20, so don't worry about that quite yet. We'll talk about that in a second here, but pretty much 30.20, big level from a couple months ago, and 30.60 has been more in pretty much the past couple of weeks. You guys can see back on the 28th of May, we got rejected there, making it a resistance, right? We actually held it, or actually, no, we were right under it as a resistance on the 12th, heading into the 15th of June over that weekend period before we broke out of it. So needless to say, it's a sticking point right now for the S&P, and it's very obvious that, again, yesterday and today, we're struggling at this point. So as of now, we're in a neutral zone pretty much. It's not like the bulls are taking full charge right now, or the bears. We're just consolidating and waiting for that next directional move. And that's kind of what I'm personally waiting for here before I do end up unloading more money into the stock market, whether it be via long positions or via short positions, right? Because take a look. I mean, if we break 30.65, I believe, technically speaking here, right, we can see it on the chart, 30.65 breaks, we're going to fill back up to 31.20, which again, I mentioned that a bunch of videos ago in this video as well. That's a big level of resistance. And notice 31.50 is another big level that we actually triple topped that over the span between 16th of this month and the 23rd of this month. So just keep an eye on these couple of levels, guys. If we gap out of 30.60 tomorrow, and quite honestly, in power hour now, there's an hour left in the session. If we break out and see some sort of rally, that is going to be very good for the bulls. But again, if we break 30.20 on the downside, that is where we might hit that lower end price target, which I said was around $29.50 here on the S&P 500. So nothing crazy today, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section when it comes down to the S&P. And you're seeing this little pop now, right? You're seeing this little breakout. You can see the uptrend on this intraday chart. So it seems like we're going to close into this wedge. When you're watching this video, this will already have been played out, right? You'll be able to come and see the charts and see what actually happened. So yeah, do we squeeze up here and break 30.65, or do we end up breaking this little mini uptrend on the intraday chart, hitting a lower low, which would be very bearish? It's going to be one of those two scenarios, but at this point, based on the S&P rapidly accelerating here, you guys can see it, right? Big bullish candle. It seems like we're going up, right? And again, this can change, but as of now, this is what I'm seeing. The Dow Jones up $50 right now, same thing. We're seeing a nice bullish candle, but ultimately, the thing with the Dow is very similar to the S&P. We're seeing a very big resistance at around 25,600 to about, exactly at 25,600. We failed there yesterday on 3 separate occasions. Today we failed there on 3 to 4 separate occasions as well. And it seems like, based on what we're seeing right now, up 0.25% rising, right, in terms of the Dow, we might go and test and maybe even take out those highs from earlier today and towards the end of the session yesterday. So watch that from a bullish perspective here on the Dow Jones. And a couple of price targets we do have on the Dow Jones are main one, the ones we just talked about, and on the downside, another main one is 24,800, right? If this little mini uptrend on the intraday chart breaks to the downside, right, even tomorrow, maybe not in, this next 30, 45 minutes, 50 minutes in the market, maybe if it breaks down tomorrow or on Monday, we'll see. That is what we might need to see from a technical perspective. It is what we need to see from a technical perspective to get down to that 24,800-ish level. And when it comes to the Nasdaq, guys, you all know tech stocks have been a really big proponent in holding up this market. You guys can see very definitive support at around 9,900, 9,960 to 10,000. Very definitive support there, no doubt about it. We tested it on the 18th, the 22nd, the 19th of June, right? Yesterday we double bottom there. Today we've been holding it. So very big support at around 10,000 bucks. And just like the S&P and the Dow, this is in a nice horizontal channel, right? It's in this little range, so watch for the breakout of $10,050. That's where we topped out yesterday, double top there, and earlier today we failed there. And also this 180 SMA has been a resistance over the past 2 days of trading. So if we break 10,050 rather, watch for the move on the Nasdaq up to 10,120. I really think that move could be made, and it's not too crazy. It's only 0.75%, but that is what the charts are telling me. And you guys can see, just like the Dow, S&P, we're seeing a nice, we're seeing a pretty big bullish move here with a couple bullish candlesticks back to back to back here on the intraday chart. So those are the technicals on the overall markets. Now, I'd love to know down below in the comments, again, what are your thoughts on the market? What are some spots that you are watching? Are we going higher here? Are we going lower? I would love to know. Now, let's get into what I personally did in the markets, and I made some moves today. Nothing crazy. Well, I made one move today. Actually, 2 moves today. And you guys know that I was in NEO stock at $6, or I'm still actually in NEO stock, spoiler alert, but I got in at $6.72 yesterday, right? And today, NEO's actually doing pretty well. It's up 2.5%, up 17 cents. You guys can see here on the 4-hour chart, it's maintaining the 50 SMA as a support, right? It's maintaining 675, 680 as a support, which we outlined in yesterday's video, and that's part of my plan for holding NEO stock. And the fact that we're bursting into the $7 level right now, I'm holding it overnight, right? I have this buffer built. Again, I got in at 672. I'm up about 30 cents per share on my position right now. So I have that buffer built to the point where I feel comfortable holding it overnight. But my goal is, if this goes perfectly, it is to just sell out tomorrow. This is it might be a bit risky, but I'm doing this again because I have that buffer built in. But the goal is to sell tomorrow, 730, maybe 750. I might be getting a bit greedy on this one, guys. I might lock profits, or I probably should lock profits here because, again, I'm up a decent amount. But yeah, as of now, I plan on holding this heading into tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know in tomorrow's video if I change my mind here after I'm done filming this video, but most likely I'm holding it overnight up to about 7:30. That is the target sell price here, and then from there, if we break 7:30, I can see this going back to the mid 7s and high 7s where I might build in another position there. And I'm still in Ulta. Around a $205 cost basis here. This one I'm down a pretty decent amount on. You guys can see it's at $193 today. It got hit another 3%, but I'm just being patient with it, quite honestly, guys. It's not too big of a position in my swing account, so I feel comfortable holding this one over the next couple of weeks. And another new one that I built today was CLX Clorox. We talked about this one yesterday. We got a massive drop in the stock today. I didn't time it perfectly. I did not get in at 210, but you guys can see we hit about 217, pulled down at 210. Let me check my notes. I think it was around 213. Yeah, I got in at 213.30 on this run up, and as of now, I'm up about $2 per share on my position, and ultimately I plan on swing trading this one with a goal target price being around 220, right? We can see 219 hit back, when was this? About 10 days ago, more like a week ago. So that's where I'd feel comfortable selling out, right? And if we hit 217, 218 tomorrow, I might lock in the profits over the weekend just to play it safe so I don't have to hold much over the weekend. That's kind of how I like to do it, guys. I don't like holding too many positions over the weekend, but we'll see what ends up happening. And the last one here that I ended up closing out of today was GDX. GDX, I got in at 34.50, and quite honestly, guys, I sold out at about like 34.66, and if I sold out yesterday or the day before, I could have locked in a lot more profits here. But the fact that we actually broke under 34.60 yesterday, and we were showing some more downwards potential earlier in the session today, down to 34.20. That's telling me, and the fact that we're actually still descending, right? You guys can see on the 5-day, 5-minute, we're still under the 180 SMA. We're still under the 34.70 resistance. So this is telling me the bears are in charge right now. I just want to lock in my position and wait for the breakout. When would I get back in, right? I'd probably get back into GDX on a clear-cut breakout above 34.90, right? 34.80, 34.90. This is where the ETF over the past 2 days has been struggling the most, right? Right around that price target. And quite honestly, back on the 22nd of June, we struggled there a lot. And the 24th, yesterday, it was a support, right? So this is a major level for GDX. I'd get back in around $35 to play it safe and then ride it up to 36. But as of now, I took a very minimal profit there. But like I always say on the channel, guys, profit is profit, and if you make money in the stock market, especially on a short-term trade, that is some good money. That is good profit, right? It's never bad to lock in profit. So overall, that's what I personally did today. Those are some stocks that I'm still in right now. Let me know in the comments, what are you guys doing? Now, let's hop into Workhorse stock. This is one that, quite honestly, guys, I didn't know much about until the recent surge over these past couple of days, and I jumped in and did some research on it. And the ticker symbol on this one is WKHS. So let's just go over very quickly, what is this company about and why is this stock surging like crazy, right? We can see it's gone from $1 back before, or actually after the big market crash. It's gone from $1.30 all the way to a high of $10.25. Now it's pulling down. It's at $8.60. It pulled down literally today, and it seems like the uptrend is maintaining right now. We held 760, and we're rebounding right now, heading into the close again above $8.60 right now. So it seems like the bulls are still in charge in terms of Workhorse stock. So this is a pretty interesting company, right? They have 3 different products. C-Series vehicles. They have 2 electric vans. I believe it's C-Series 660 and the C-Series 1000. Those are the 2 electric vans that they have. They also have Horsefly, which this is pretty awesome. It's a fully functioning end-to-end drone delivery system. So you have these vehicles, right? You have these vans, and then you have this little drone. You guys can see it on the screen here, right? You have this little drone that takes the package out, it flies up, and it goes and delivers the package, right? So that's pretty interesting. That's some pretty futuristic stuff there. And they also have Metron, which is a telematics system developed by WORKHORSE to track and monitor the performance of all the vehicles in your fleet and collect the data you need to optimize route planning and monitor maintenance and fuel costs. And that is a very good thing about electric vehicle vans, electric vehicle companies. I mean, we see with Tesla, they have self-driving, they have all the data being pulled in. This is very good, and it makes it kind of like a tech company at the end of the day. I mean, look at Facebook, they're bringing in data. Look at Google, they're bringing in data. There's a lot you can do with data, and it makes companies a lot more valuable. So pretty interesting, right? Those are the three products that they have. Two vans, they have Horsefly, the drone flying, fully end-to-end drone flying system, and they have Metron, right? And they also, another big thing here, why the stock has been moving and probably why it's moving a bit today, they own 10% of a startup called Lordstown Motors, which unveiled a new truck called the Lordstown Endurance. This truck goes for $52,000, $52,500 to be exact, and it goes into production next year in Lordstown, Ohio. And this is actually interesting. This is at a former General Motors factory. I believe they bought the factory out over there in Ohio, and unlike forthcoming EV pickups from Tesla and Rivian, this one is aimed squarely at the commercial and fleet market. So this Lordstown EV, this new SUV, or not SUV, the new truck, it's a bit different. They have a bit of a different angle there, which is quite interesting. And as of now, based on my understanding, especially with their drone end-to-end business here, they're not fully scaled out. They're doing some test locations here and there, but overall, they do have pretty big relationships with fleet operators such as UPS and FedEx, which are actually testing its technology right now. But again, it's not a big operation, and this is kind of where the speculation comes in, right? Because if you think, okay, WORKHORSE, it's going to ink a big deal with UPS, FedEx, this drone system is going to scale out like crazy, they're going to sell a bunch of these vans. That's the speculation here because we're not there quite yet. We're still kind of in the testing phase, but if you think it's going to expand, this can make WORKHORSE a ridiculously profitable, not profitable, but it could shoot the stock up, and I'm sure they can get profitable down the line. It depends on, their business. I don't know too much about it to really know the nitty-gritty about the financials, but I'm sure they want to be profitable one day. If not, maybe they're already profitable. I have to double check on that. And if they scale out, this could be a very, very, big company, right? There's a lot going for them, in my opinion. But at this point, for me, guys, again, I don't know too much about the company. I haven't dove in too much into the financials. So at this point, I'm just simply watching it. I want to do a bit more research into it and try to figure out and nail down a longer-term valuation to kind of but to kind of figure out what the company's worth today and whether or not the stock price here is overvalued or undervalued. But at this point, I'm looking to maybe ride it up as a day trade, maybe as a swing trade because the momentum is there. But as a long-term investment, I have to do a bit more research, and quite honestly, these prices could be very overvalued. So I'm sticking on the sidelines for now, but the potential is definitely there. And let me know down below, guys, what are your thoughts on WORKHORSE stock? I would love to know. Now let's break down a bunch of other stocks that I'm watching right now. So the first one that I want to talk about here is Rite Aid Corporation, which had an absolutely explosive day today, up almost 30%. Yes, you heard me right, 30%. I'm not sure if this is the best day in the history of the stock, but I for sure would not be surprised if it is, guys. So they actually reported a slimmer loss than expected, with EPS coming in at negative 4 cents. So they lost 4 cents of EPS, but get this, guys, the estimate was almost for a 40-cent loss. So they completely obliterated the EPS estimation there, and revenue actually came in at $6.03 billion versus $5.6 billion. So pretty nice earnings report there from Rite Aid, just looking at the basic metrics. And at this point, guys, if we look at the 4-hour chart, we're actually breaking out of a pretty big resistance. Notice how $16 to about $15.80 has been a pretty big resistance, right? And the fact that we're breaking out of it now, and with the potential of us holding it, this could end up pushing the stock up to the mid-17s, maybe even $17. But quite honestly, at this point, this earnings, maybe the hype of the earnings dies down a bit, and it could also be a potential short opportunity. Notice how we got a lot of volume today, no doubt about it. Big spike in volume. RSI is ridiculously overbought. It's over 70. It's actually cracking above 80, which is very overbought. So this could end up opening a short play. I mean, notice every time, and that's if we don't rally into the 17 level, guys, right? Because every time, not every time, but most of the time over the past 4 months that we've hit $16, $16.50, we've seen a big drop, right? From 16 to 12 here, we saw 16 all the way down to $10, 15 down to $11. It's literally happened multiple times with Rite Aid. So I'm quite honestly, I'm leaning more towards the short side on Rite Aid at this point, but it really just depends on what happens over these next couple of days and if it ends up holding 16 or not. If it dumps, I'm probably going to play some, close term, put options potentially expiring within the next week or two. Maybe some longer term put options as well. We'll see what ends up happening, but that's the first one, ticker symbol RAD. And another one here that's reporting earnings. I might add a screenshot in the post-production editing process of this video, but they didn't report quite yet, is Nike, ticker symbol NKE. And would you take a look at the stock market, guys? We started making this video about 20 minutes ago. We started filming it, and we talked about that little wedge, right? It completely broke out, right? So the bulls now are back in charge, like we talked about literally 20 minutes ago in this video. If we broke 30.65, that's where the bulls take charge, and we're seeing exactly that, right? So bullish day here in the markets. We were break even. Now we're turning very, very bullish, and we are picking an upwards direction, which is very good, right? So back to that stock, back to Nike, we can see that it's hyping back up now, right? We're seeing a big pop again as the markets are going up. But I don't like really holding stocks through earnings, especially if I'm trading it, right? If I'm short-term trading a stock, I don't like holding through earnings. So I'm just watching Nike at this point, but ultimately we are looking bullish on these technicals, right? We broke the downwards wedge here. We're actually holding 99, $100 as a support, which is good. So watch the move up to the mid-hundreds and even above, right? We'll see what they end up reporting in terms of earnings, and we'll make our decisions from there. At least I will, guys. And it's very important, guys, that you always do your own research, always do your own due diligence. Do not buy any stocks based on my opinion or anybody's opinion for that matter, right? So let's just get into some other ones here before I do end up wrapping up the video. Tesla stock, TSLA, did pretty well today, and we talked about this yesterday. We said, 965 is a pretty big resistance. You guys can see we did close a bit under it yesterday at 962, and we saw pretty much throughout the day yesterday after the big drop that we were struggling there. And today in pre-market, we were struggling at 965. In the first hour of the session, we were struggling at 965. But ever since we broke and we pulled down and we retested 965 as a new support, Tesla's been very bullish, right? So at this point, I'm watching it to fill up to $990, maybe to $1,000. And you guys saw me call this out in the Discord chat, which again is free of charge and linked down below. And I call out all of these stocks on my Instagram, which is simply my name at StasserFest. So make sure to go follow me on there. I post stories every single day regarding these different stocks. And yeah, at this point, from $965 up to $1,000, I think that's the move that we're looking to make here when it comes down to ticker symbol TSLA. And another one I'm watching is CL, which is Colgate-Palmolive, also breaking out of this little downtrend on the 5-day, 5-minute. Very, very good pattern here, forming a breakout pattern on CL. And honestly, I might take a position after I'm done filming this video in this stock, quite honestly, because we talked about it yesterday as a nice continuation stock. You can see we pulled down. We're holding a higher low at this point from the previous. The uptrend's looking intact. So this could very well be a good opportunity for maybe $72 up to maybe $74, maybe $75. So I'm watching CL like a hawk. And I'm also watching bank stocks. JPM, Wells Fargo, they're going through the results of the stress tests are coming out today. And I don't want to go deep into that because it'll make the video too long, but I'll post a screenshot here and you guys do your own research on the stress test. What is that? And we're seeing JP Morgan up 3.7%. We're seeing Bank of America up 4%. And we're also seeing Wells Fargo and many others up pretty well. Wells Fargo's up about 5%. And with these stress tests, guys, we're going to see how the banks are faring in different situations, in different crisis situations. And I've been reading and seeing a lot online, headlines and so forth, that the dividends of these bank stocks could be in danger, which is why, if you guys follow my M1 Finance long-term investing series, that's why I cut out of my bank stocks. I own Wells Fargo in that account. I cut out of it because I know that these bank stocks are at risk of slashing their dividend completely or slashing it by 50% or whatever, because we saw back in the great financial crisis, many bank stocks, if not all bank stocks, probably not all bank stocks, but a lot of the bank stocks out there, the big ones, they completely slashed their dividends. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. The Fed is really helping us back out here, guys, towards the end of the market. This is really funny. We really called it out about 30 minutes ago. It's happening, guys. This is really a Fed-induced rally at the end of the day. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Check out all the free links down below if you want to join the Discord chat, the Facebook group, and if you want 2 free stocks from Webull with one of them valued up to $1,400. All you have to do is deposit $100 into the account, and that is when you get your 2 free stocks. And again, all of that is linked down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there, guys. Peace out.